teams out every Sunday. Fire in our eyes, can't stop our drive. Hit so hard, remind you of 85. We the Bears, monsters of the Midway. Knocking teams out every Sunday. Fire in our eyes, can't stop our drive. Hit so hard, remind you of 85.
Take a look, Chicago, you can smell it in the air. There's a hungry team called Soldier Field going nuts, jumping out their chair. Teams rather be anywhere but here. We don't care if it's below zero. Better tougher for the snow, we still gon' break holes. If we win the point flip, we choosing to hit. Cause we got a defense that love to hit. Polarize the link with our smash mouth beats. Slicing up teams like Mike Singletary. Forever repping the seat, making Papa Bear proud. Giving Chicago something to shout about.
We the Bears, monsters of the
And welcome back to the Panda and Grizzly Show. I'm Brian the Grizzly here with Baron and Grant. Guys, how you feeling tonight?
Cool.
Good. All locked in.
Hey, I mean, this is a good time to be doing this. I mean, I get most of the players right now are on their vacation, getting ready for camp when it's going to be happening. I think it's July 17th-ish or 16th-ish. So that's when they're going to be starting going to camp. So we have about 3 weeks for them to enjoy their summer because it's just about to hit the fan. Maybe because we still have guys that are unsigned, but we'll get to that point in a second. I gotta ask you guys, how do you guys feel about Aaron Rodgers finally signing with the Steelers, and now he's saying that this is his final year? What are your thoughts?
I believe him when I see it. I believe him when I see it.
I pray for it every day.
Dude, I think the thing is, I don't trust anything he says, so I believe it when I see it.
Okay. What about you, Grant?
If it is true, then it's about damn time. Guys, he's overplayed his part. It's time to end it, man. It's over. Let's go out with a bang and just finish it because I'm tired of seeing him. So
Yeah, the bang I want to hear is this Achilles snapping. But
Yeah.
let's not harp on someone's negativity. I want to really talk about the Bears, our Bears, really going forward. So everyone understands what's going on. The Bears have not signed their second round picks. We have Luther Burden III, we got Ozzie Trapillo, we got Shamar Turner. None of the three have been signed, which is not surprising because ever since the Browns and Texans signed their rookies to fully guaranteed deals, these are second round deals, fully guaranteed. No one else has been signed. There are 30 unsigned rookies from the second round. What do you think what's going to take for someone to actually sign one of these guys? Who's going to blink first? What do you guys think?
It's probably going to go all the way until the start of training camp. But for like a good solid one. I don't know because it feels like it's one giant log jam. So it's like, hey, I want get first transport, like my money get fully guaranteed, and the owners are saying just no. So it's just going to be a standoff probably until the start of training camp.
Okay.
Yeah.
Grant, who do you think is going to blink first?
it's gonna. I mean, I think it's gonna probably be the manager's probably gonna blink first. I think.
I think management's going to blink for these rookies who haven't got paid yet.
I think the manager's gonna blink first. I just have a hunch, especially with the fully guaranteed thing going on with that roaming around. You got the conflict in Cincinnati. That may play a big part of it if he gets signed, or if they move him, or if he redeclares. Who knows how that's going to go? But I think in the end of the day, with the fully guaranteed, kind of put a wrench in what management was trying to do. And like I said, that may not affect every team, but I do think at some point maybe some of the teams who are starting to panic, seeing all these guys get the fully guaranteed money, that might be fall into their hands and make management kind of flinch a little bit. But we'll have to see. I wouldn't be surprised if they were to flinch first. Obviously, the players would give in, but I wouldn't be surprised if management were to flinch first. Though.
Okay. So there's only 2 players that have been signed out there. So as I said, there's 30 people that have not been signed. There's 30 teams that have not.
Oh, two people that have been signed was Carson Schlesinger, 33rd pick, and Noel from the Texans, the wide receiver.
Yeah. So what the reason why this is happening is because yes, those two people they signed into fully guaranteed contracts. That's what's going forward, and there's no other NFL team. So now this has not been collectively bargained, and there's no way they're going to allow rookies to try to dictate the way things are going to go in the NFL. So I think this is good for them to try to make it understood that this is something that needs to be talked about. But there's no way. So you telling me you're going to sit out the entire season? You can't go back into the draft. You can't go back to college. You're going to sit the entire season. If I'm the NFL, I'm just going to sit there and wait.
Yeah.
You know, so why would I blink first when I have all the cards? I have both the first, the third, fifth, the fourth, fifth, and sixth round, 7th round picks all ready for camp. Only the 6th, second round picks are the ones that are not signed. Why would I blink first?
Yeah.
No reason at all. You have a reason because you want to make it to the NFL. But this is only reason that they're doing it, they're highlighting it to let people know this might be a problem going forward. But I don't see management even worrying about it, saying you're going to be there because you have to be.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know if it's good for the league or not, but it doesn't really matter because they can't do anything else. Like, it's Isaac Trapillo just going to sit down. You know,
No.
Is he not going to? You know, your dream is to play in the NFL. You know, but because right now Jaden Higgins and Carson Schwarzenegger both signed to these fully guaranteed contracts, you're going to hold out to get those fully guaranteed contracts, even though it's probably not going to come.
Yeah.
Is Quinshon Judkins going to not say I want to be the starting running back for Cleveland Browns? Am I not going to go? How is that going to work? I think no matter what, they're going to end up acquiescing to everybody. They're making it known that they're not happy about this, and this is something that's going to be talked about and reassessed in the next offseason, especially when you're collectively bargaining a lot of this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do think too, it just comes down to, like you said, if you alluding to take it, for example, our 2nd round picks, like Ozzy, you was in left tackle most of the minicamp. You was at the starting left tackle most of the minicamp. Now you will want to hold out and risk that job when Braxton Jones comes back. Same thing with Luther Burden. You want to hold out now. You already missed valuable time already.
He hasn't played yet, so
it's played yet. You missed valuable time, so it's just like you put yourself in a bind when you're doing things like this, where you have no leverage in the situation. But I do understand that it just needs to be talked about. But at the end of the day, you got to look at each team, look at each individual player, especially in the 2nd round. What are their roles predicted to be? And like I said, if our 2nd round picks for the holdout, even Shamar Turner, these are all guys that are expected to have big roles this year. You guys hold out, and then that affects everything. It just puts a black hole in their system and how
puts a monkey wrench in the entire thing that we're trying to go forward. Yeah, I understand that.
But we hurt.
Yeah.
See, but this was collectively bargained in 2011. They're not going to reassess it and acquiesce to someone else because they want to. I believe so. 2011, the NFL collectively bargained, this rookie wage scale because rookies were making more money than players coming in. That's what they did, and that's why the 2nd round contracts are negotiable and all these things. Usually are 4-year deals. So that's what's going on. But now that we have this whole fully guaranteed, because we said you should have been a 1st rounder, I don't know how that's going to affect it, but I tell you this much: the NFL is not going to budge. They're not going. The owners, it's a collectively, but it would be a mistake to change this when you have it as a tool and when you're collectively bargaining next time.
It'd be stupid.
It would
be very stupid. A lot of money will be lost just for no reason. So it'll be stupid for them to lose all their leverage over one little mishap in the 2nd round pick sign. It'll be a stupid decision to make at this point in time.
Yeah,
exactly. So I would never give that. As far as we know right now, so there's 2 1st rounders that are not signed, 30 2nd rounders, 3 3rd rounders, 5 4th rounders, no 5th rounders, no 6th rounders, no 7th rounders. They just took what they got. That's kind of where we at right now. Stewart and Jahdae Barron are the ones who haven't signed in the 1st round, right? And then we talked about everyone in the second round that has been signed. And that's why we're talking about it so much, because Luther Burden III, Isaac Trapillo, and Shamar Turner all need to be signed. And the language is not going to work. So that needs to be figured out. But I think we have about 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks before anything is going to happen. I think this is going to be a standoff. This is about the contracts. I think even the Players Association is telling them to not sign the deal until the last second, because they're going to make this a big point when they renegotiate.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is just what it is. Unfortunately, though, since the Bears, everyone's saying they won the offseason, this is going to affect us more than anyone, right? So we have our signings, we have our free agent signings, which work, but not having all these rookie contracts that are supposed to be cheaper, that are going to replace a lot of the overpriced players, it's going to hurt us.
Yeah.
And we need them in camp as soon as possible, because they need to know how the NFL is going to work. They need to get ready playing with Caleb and knowing how his cadence goes and knowing how he throws routes and how he's looking at coverage. And Shamar needs to know how, offensive linemen block from that 3 technique position. I mean, these things need to be happening during camp, and camp is getting closer and closer.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be tough on them if they were to miss any significant time, especially Luther Burden already missing so much time, valuable time. He's already behind the 8 ball, and I've been hearing rumblings about Zacchaeus has been showing out in practice. So, like I said, if that happened, you're looking at Luther Burden maybe being 3rd on the depth chart, maybe even 4th. I don't know.
I mean, he's 3rd to be the most he can.
Yeah.
So I bring this question to you, and I have an answer for it, but I want to know what you guys think. Actually, is there anyone out there that you guys are looking at saying a team might cut them and we should bring this guy in?
Any of the second rounders?
Any high price free agent that, not free agent, but like person that's on the team that might get cut from that team that the Bears should bring in and take a look at.
Well, it feels like most of the time it's contracts.
Yeah, it's going to be a contract thing, so they're going to cut because they don't want to pay him that money. But is there anyone that you think that you would like to take a run at?
There was a rumbling I seen the running back from Seattle,
Walker.
Who?
Yeah, Kenneth Walker. I was looking at.
He's still in a rookie contract.
Still a rookie contract.
Mm-hmm. You could trade him because of what you have behind him, but K9 is going to be still that rookie contract regardless.
What about Cam Akers?
Cam Akers probably going to tear his ACL like second game here.
My problem with Cam Akers is I don't think he has enough difference between him and any rookie guy we could have grabbed anyway. You don't think it's a defensive rush that we might be interested in from?
You think they're going to cut him? They're going to cut Trey at this rate?
I think there's going to be
they might cut him.
No, they're not going to cut Trey Hendrickson because I think they could get something. And doesn't matter. They don't have to trade him this year. He could still play under that $16 million that he's making right now. But cap casualties happen every year. Those are things I think you have to kind of keep your eyes on as going forward for the NFL. It's just this is what happens. So
who are you thinking of?
I was thinking someone, I guess, you always look at, the defensive end. I know that Joey Bosa just signed a big deal, so I'm not too worried about him.
Joey signed 1 year. He signed 1 year.
Has Von Miller been cut yet altogether?
He's a free agent.
So he's a free agent still out there?
He's a free agent right now. Yes, he is.
Yeah. So what about Hargrave has already been signed?
Bradley Chubb.
Leonard Floyd is out there.
Yeah, Bradley Chubb could maybe be on the chopping block.
Mm-hmm.
I would love Bradley Chubb. Like at least 80% of Bradley Chubb. I'm good. We could be.
Would that be good on the other side?
Yeah. How about Matthew Judon?
Matthew Judon, yeah, definitely. I mean, we tried to sign him before.
Yeah.
Like Barrett's still out there.
Let me see. Is Tyler Lockett still a free agent? I know we don't
No,
receivers.
no.
No, we don't need a wide receiver. We already
Yeah,
have too many.
but he's not anymore.
Okay. Yeah, but I honestly think Leonard Floyd could be a huge, I think a really cheap 1 year deal. We can get him. Will be a good fit for this defense, hybrid defense.
No, he's already been signed. He already signed with the Falcons.
Ooh, Leonard?
Yeah.
He's on the Falcons.
I think I just saw it too.
Yeah, like the only one, like
Is Malik? Did they cut Malik Collins from San Francisco yet?
I don't believe they cut him yet. No.
Not yet. I think they're going to. I think they might. No, they already cut him. He's signed with the Browns.
And Harold Landry re-signed, right?
Yeah.
And we saw Zaire.
Oh, he went to the Patriots immediately.
Oh, okay.
And we saw Zaire, right?
Yeah. But
so that's what I'm saying. There's some guys that could be out there. I mean, Jair Alexander was not, surprising. Jamel Dean's probably what happened. I wish we didn't draft a tight end because I believe Mark Andrews could be someone that they might cut as a cap casualty.
Because they already have Kohler and Likely.
Yeah, Isaiah Likely's the one that I'm looking at.
Yeah, he has a lot better hands.
But you think Mark Andrews will be a good fit with this part of his career? Because he kind of.
How old do you think Mark Andrews is?
Late 20s.
28 years old. He's not that old.
Yeah.
And you know what? He was still number 5 among tight ends last year.
Yeah, if we did now, that would have probably been a decent fit if we never drafted a Colston Loveland though. So I think Mark Andrews did before with the injury. He was probably the second best tight end in the league, behind Kelsey.
No, come on.
Andrews was up there though. I think he's probably.
Mark Andrews is always 5th.
Who was number 2 though? You said it was Kelsey and who else?
You know who's the Cardinals tight end? You know.
Yeah. That's Kyler Murray's favorite target.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. I mean, then who was the rookie of the year last year?
Well, Brock Bowers, yes, sir. But I would say before when I thought it was Kelsey and him. That was just me. Before.
Kelsey hasn't been in there for a little bit.
Yeah, he's declining.
But
you got Goddard. You got Dallas Goddard too.
They don't have another one. They don't have.
I would say contending that George Kittle is a tier 1er.
Yeah, George Kittle's tier 1.
Yeah.
Trey McBride is a tier 1er.
Yep.
What about Brock Bowers? What about Sam Laporta?
It's tier 2.
Sam Laporta, I think, is a tier 1er.
You think
he's a low end tier 1? He's like number 4.
I think he's the end of tier 1. And then I think tier 2, we're talking about
Andrews.
Andrews is right there because I always say he's 5, right?
Put Cole Kmet in there.
TJ Hawkinson.
Hawkinson, yeah.
And then so I put Kelsey.
Okay.
Probably put Evan Ingram. And
he hasn't done anything outside that 1 year. Outside of that 1 year.
Do you know how many catches he made last year?
Yeah, he made a lot of catches.
Do you know how many catches he made 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's around.
In the last 2 years, every Ingram has something around like 145 catches.
Yeah, I mean I can see that.
So that's what I'm saying. When you start looking at, then honestly, maybe in David Njoku, as long as we have a decent quarterback.
Yeah, healthy Njoku, Yeah. I can see it.
Yeah,
I can see it.
Then you get into like the tier 3, and that's when you start saying, Donald Smith,
Kmet,
Dalton Kincaid, Tyler Warren will be in there right now. Dallas Goedert, Kyle Pitts. I think Cole Kmet is in that 4th tier.
So, if you're going off potential, where are you putting Loveland off potential? Colston.
Same 4th tier.
4th tier. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's there right now, 4th tier.
You say you got Tyler Warren. You got Tyler Warren in that 3rd tier already.
I've always thought Tyler Warren is going to be a better fit in Indianapolis. because we're going to have two quarterbacks that are going to be fighting against each other that have a problem with reading defenses. So the middle of the field, your tight end is your best friend for a rookie. Well, not rookie, we're a young quarterback who doesn't know how to read the field. So I think that's kind of where, that goes for him.
Okay. I can pertain to that.
But
you will put Mason Taylor also be in the 4th tier too.
Yeah.
Based off
Mason Taylor's probably my 5th tier.
5th tier? Okay.
Yeah, he's young, but I don't know what he has. I probably have him after Akwanku. Probably have him after Ferguson and Zach Ertz and Hunter Henry and probably that's where
Hunter Henry.
Isaiah Likely's probably in that 4th tier too. So yeah, that's probably right where we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
With all that being said, we do so. Colston Loveland's our top draft pick, right?
Yeah.
He's been injured, so he hasn't even been able to practice yet.
Right.
So, we've had a great draft, and everyone's lauding all the moves we made. We haven't had even them working full go with any of the quarterbacks. Even 707, it's on air. You haven't done any of that stuff. So I think that's going to be difficult going forward. That's why this camp really matters. That's why you need to find a way to sign these 2nd-round picks. I mean, not having Luther Burden, and not Isaac Trapillo, and not having Shamar Turner is going to hurt overall. We really need to figure out a way to get them in camp. But I'm telling you, the owners are not going to give them fully guaranteed.
Yeah.
I think the best we're going to ask for will be they get fully guaranteed 3 years, fully guaranteed, and that 4th year is not fully guaranteed.
Yeah, 4th year
It's
option.
the most they can ask.
Yeah.
No, they're going to do a 4-year contract, but that
3 years guaranteed.
Yeah, the money that's going to be the 3 years. But what they might do is drop the amount of money it is, and then give you 3 years guaranteed, so it ends up being the same exact thing.
That would make sense for the owners. That could be a win-win for the owners, players. But depending on how long this leaks out, how long this stands out, is going to dictate whether probably it's going to be
you got to take the money.
You got to.
The money's going to be gone. So
yeah.
All right, that was my biggest thing. Baron, did you have anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, let's talk. We already talked dabbling in this a little bit, but looking at free agency about edges, there's not like we have a couple choices with Zadarius Smith.
Zadarius Smith is interesting. He's interesting.
Matthew Judon and like Von Miller, but like probably the only one I really like is Zadarius Smith because he had a pretty good year, not like amazing year, but he was very good as a kind of replacement to Aiden Hutchinson. But I'm not if he comes here, pretty much because part of the rotation when it comes to our edge group. So he could probably give us like a good solid like 6 or 7 sacks to be like in a rotation. It'll probably be a good signing. Probably for like 10 mil. Well, 10 mil.
10 to 12 mil? Okay.
Yeah, 10, 12, yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you about a few people then. Okay. Are you against Shaq Barrett? Young with a high upside. And on the
Shaq is around the same age as Zadarius Smith, but yeah, I'll take him.
What about Preston Smith?
He's kind of decline. I wouldn't mind it, but he declined it.
He's declined.
For how much money? What's your Davion Clowney?
Now that could be a sneaky signing. I think
that could be something.
That could be a sneaky. If he could stay healthy, he could give you maybe 3 to 4 sacks, maybe on the other side. 4, maybe 5.
Someone look at how many sacks he had this year.
6.
Yeah, 6, right?
That's 6 right there. You add that to Montez Sweat, you won't get as many. It opens up for him with double teams. Probably coming Montez Sweat, it could open up things for him. So I think that could be a plus. Underrated signing. Get him for cheap.
Yeah.
How cheap do you think he's going to sign for? He just made $14 million last year.
I would say probably.
Yeah, he's also been out on the market for pretty long, so probably like 10 to 12.
Yeah, I would say 1 year, 10 mil. I'll say 1 year, 10 mil could probably get the deal done.
Yeah, I think you'll sign for that. But I think any of these guys will sign for that. I think Matt Judon will do the same thing. I think this Zadarius Smith will do the same thing. So they've been clowning. I know Von Miller is going to be ring chasing right now.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for a deal, that's why I'm going to Shaq Barrett and Preston Smith. Those are deal guys.
Yeah.
And you know the Bears like to bargain hunt. So Just
I hate
saying.
this. I hate this time of the year because when they bargain hunt, they go basement hunting. They
They
go
do.
bargain basement hunting around this time. That irritates my soul to the fullest.
It does. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But out of that group, do you think that out of the group, who you think would be like the first option out of that group of names that you would say?
Smith, Zendarius Smith.
It would
I
be
think
Sedarius?
Zadarius must be the number one too. I agree.
Yeah, I'd probably go Sedarius as well.
He's the only one that makes sense, and you have someone with that can produce, and then someone with the upside that can really give you a high number. So I think that all those things kind of work together, and I like that.
So he'll be rotating with Odangbo then? Him and the Odangbo will be rotating or
Well, I think even Odema might even end up playing a little bit 3.
I
Yeah,
can see
he'll
that.
kick inside. He'll kick inside, and he'll be the rusher.
He's the same from 3 and 5 as either way you go. So in any NASCAR packages, you put him in the 3. You put Grady Jarrett at the nose, and you just go. So you now have 4 pass rushers that are able to get on the field at the same time. So that's what I would do if you end up signing someone like that. The only question I have is what the Bears really think about what they have already.
Right.
No one knows what that really is. Ben Johnson has only been here for a little bit of time, so we don't know, what's his real thought process on the defensive guys that we have, defensive ends that we have. This has Austin Booker piqued his interest. Is that something that we can see kind of come up? Something does Dominic Robinson still continue to say, "Hey, I could do it," and then not do it? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, like Ben Johnson said during his press conference that Dominique Robinson really stood out to him in practice, but like they had no pads on, they didn't face offensive linemen, and it seems to me he always comes up in every training camp where they say they're impressed with them and stuff like that, but it can never translate onto the field, preseason or in the regular season. So I think this is probably Dom Rob's last chance. If I was the Bears, just you need to start seeing what you have at Austin Booker. We saw glimpses last year. He can get pressure. Like he's just finishing. He can never finish.
He has pass rush moves, but he can't tackle.
Yeah, he just can't finish. So I think we need to just cut our losses.
But that was the same thing in college, right? He could get there, but he couldn't put him down.
Could have put him down. So and like I said, I think with maybe 1 year development, we can see what we have in him. But he may be a diamond in the rough. But at the end of the day, we still have to see it on the field, translate on the field. So that comes down to what Ben Johnson thinks.
Would you be against seeing if Javon Dexter could play defensive end?
No, I won't be against it.
No.
His 6'6" frame, his pass rush skills.
I want to see him do both. Like I want to see him move into like hybrid, like he can do what he can during pass for situations, have him on the outside, and maybe during
be more like try to be like Chris Jones light when it comes to pass rushing.
I see him more like Odeyingbo. I think they're the same guy.
Yeah, that could definitely be a huge plus for us, especially with Dennis Allison's defense. You move him around, offensive linemen are gonna be like, oh, who the hell? Where is he coming from? Is he coming from over here? Over here? We don't know. But I think that could be a huge asset to Javon's game, especially him getting stronger and understanding offensive linemen more. And like he's trending upward every year. He's trending up. So
when you have Grady Jarrett, all 4 of your defensive linemen are almost interchangeable. Montez Sweat has the highest upside, but all these guys can play inside if necessary. They're all strong enough to against the run and pass and put enough pressure. So it's going to give you an opportunity to really decide, I'm going to drop, Grady Jarrett out there in the flats. But I'm going to then go ahead and blitz someone that when he's coming. Is Brisker coming in, or is it Byard coming in, or if maybe I'm going to do Kyler Gordon because he's the monster. Maybe I'm doing one of these guys to change everything up. So Dennis Allen can come up with creative ways to put pressure even without an edge rusher signing. I just know going into camp, I will be interested in seeing a veteran guy there that can play if necessary. But I don't expect to see a signing before camp. I expect to see it week 2 after we see what we have.
Really? Week 2 of preseason or week 2 of the regular season?
Week 2 of camp.
Okay. I can see that. especially to see what we got, especially after putting the pads on. I could definitely see how after that first week of pads, how that looks with what we may be seeing, stuff that we're not seeing. We can obviously pay attention there, especially with the defensive line position, especially when the pads get on. We can see what we really have in there. So,
yeah.
Is there anyone from the running back position that you're interested in? There's no one for me. I just want to know if you guys look at someone and say, "Hey, we can add this guy."
Nah.
One that everybody's talking about is Jamal Williams, but I don't really want him.
Well, especially what I've been hearing about Monanga, I think it's no point in going out for running back now. I mean, I think I feel like
they really like him. They
really like Monanga. They really
he
do.
is really slow.
He is.
I think that they're going to find out when your defensive linemen are faster than your running back. He's not going to do a lot for you.
That's true. That is true. You got running back running 4.7s and linemen running 4.7s. Then that makes you.
No, you have defensive ends that are running 4.5s.
Yeah, 4.5s, man.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be a problem when we get that burst. And I'm actually under the opinion Monanga might make the team, but I think this is Roschon Johnson's second position to lose.
Oh, of course. I see that, of course.
Yeah.
But I do think, like I said, who knows what Monanga is going to do over the summer. He does have like a month to see what he can improve his speed a little bit, but it's going to be hard to do that, especially with training camp right around the corner. I mean, we are what you are.
You prepared for the combine and ran a 4.7.
Yeah, you are what you are at this point. So, like I said, if they go out, I would not be surprised if they go out and get another running back. Now, who's out there we can grab? May have to check on
Gus Edwards.
Maybe Gus Edwards. Yeah. But it's like you got to maybe hope on a cap casualty at this point when it comes to running backs, because
there's a bunch of 28 to 30-year-olds out there, but
I mean,
Cam Akers, but he's not to tear his ACL. Like I said, he's not to tear his ACL. With our field, he'll tear his ACL very quickly.
But I think
what you feel about Austin Eckler?
Too old. He did produce. He did produce with Jay Daniels last year.
Yeah, he did fine as a backup.
He did good. But I think with this team, the way we're trending, I just don't think he'll be a fit here. To me, I feel like he wouldn't be a good fit here.
A guy who could catch the ball out of the backfield and being the second or third guy.
Yeah, but Prince, looking at all these guys, all the guys are Prince backfield catchers. The guys left is Prince guys who catch the ball out of the backfield.
Yeah, have any of those guys been as good as Austin Eckler's been?
No,
but he also ain't 33, 34.
I mean, like I said, it doesn't seem like it's not. I wouldn't say no to it, but I wouldn't look that way based on the. We already have a pass catcher in Swift, and then you got Roschon already. You got Monanga, and then you have what's his name, Homer. I don't even know why we have him on the team.
Homer.
Yeah.
How old do you think Austin Eckler is, guys?
Early 30s.
Early 30s.
He's 30. He just turned 30.
So he's still.
So now, when you guys are saying 34, that man just turned 30. So I think
because I think it's because he tore his stuff twice already.
Doesn't matter. Austin Eckler has been a star. He's been a star in this NFL. So I'm just saying.
I wouldn't mind it.
Even old Austin Eckler is probably 0.3 of a second faster than Monanga.
Even though I wanted Nick Chubb, that's who I really wanted.
You know, I said that. I've been saying that for months. I was like, man, what's wrong with y'all?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it wouldn't be a bad to have Austin Eckler in the fold. I mean, we just got to find a role for him. But you always find roles for guys like that. They
find their own roles.
So, but I would not mind having them on the team. It's just, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what's going on.
Okay. Well, you got to talk about Grant.
So Keenan Allen is still a free agent. And he's still a free agent. Everybody will just eliminate him coming back to the Bears because we just drafted Luther Burden. But there's been rumblings there's still a possibility there. Last year he came up with 70 receptions for 744 yards and he had 7 touchdowns. So he had a pretty productive year, even though Caleb was just coming to his own. It kind of was a safety blanket for Caleb. So I think he can fit. I think bringing him back. Would you guys want to bring him back on a cheap deal, or you think there's no room for him on the
There's
team?
no, I don't think there's room for him anymore. There's like we have like three. We're going to have three tight ends. Probably we have guaranteed four already in the guaranteed four. And four, including Duvernay, which is five. So we have five receivers. So I don't think he really has space because we have pretty much our 5 and 3.
So receivers, you probably run with 6, especially if they can play special teams.
Yeah.
Probably run with 6. You go 2 to 3 tight ends. I don't think so. Smythe, you're only going to bring in when you really feel like you need a blocking one. But both Cole Kmet and Colston Loveland show that they can block. I'm not even sure Smythe makes the team. As far as that goes, and then you can always put what's his name, Stephen Carlson, on the practice squad if you really need somebody. So I'm not even sure how that's going to go.
Because we already have our 4. We already have our 4 plus 1 with their returner.
If they sign Luther Burden.
Right.
So if they don't sign Luther Burden, that's a problem. If any of our DJ Moore, I don't even want to say DJ Moore, but Roma Dunze or anything like have a twisted ankle or anything like that, do you start knocking on the door?
I feel like,
or do you try to call like maybe one of these guys could be like the 5th or 6th guy from the classic squad, but if one of our big receivers gets hurt, we probably should be knocking on a door.
Yeah, why would you bring a practice squad guy when you get
you have a guy that played with your quarterback last year and had good rapport with him most of the year. Was probably arguably his favorite target. Outside of Roma Dunze. I think he was his favorite target. I think
he was probably his favorite target.
His favorite target.
Yeah,
safety blanket. So it was kind of like, he was kind of like a smaller tight end because if DJ Rome wasn't open, Keenan Allen right there, he's gonna find some way to get open.
Keenan Allen didn't drop as many drops as he's had in his entire career last year. He'll still be on this team. And I just think I think because people were saying about Ben Johnson wants fast guys and stuff like that, which is true. But I think you can never go wrong with a veteran presence that's already been here, that already they know him in the locker room, they already seen him. I wouldn't be opposed to bringing him back, especially down this late in late in time before training camp hits. Bringing him back and just seeing how he can fit on this team. Yeah, okay. I think Keenan Allen signs with someone just like Amari Cooper after probably the first 10 days of summer.
Yeah.
You're not going to camp and thinking Keenan Allen or Amari Cooper are going to go sign somewhere and join you for summer. They just don't. These guys are veterans that can play in any offense and they're going to do it. If there's an injury, they are quality wide receivers are ready to step in. It's not the same answer for a running back. It's not the same answer for tight ends. It's that answer for wide receivers.
Yes.
Which is another reason why you don't rush to sign Luther Burden. You tell him here's the amount, and you wait for him to say yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And just let him know that, hey, we got a backup plan. If you don't, we have someone we can go get right now, and and we'll see how he plays. How he plays his cards. Better play his cards right. But if Keenan Allen doesn't sign here, I got 5 teams that could probably use his help.
Okay, let me think. Let me guess. Keenan Allen. Is San Francisco on that team on that list?
No, he's not. Even though I've heard rumblings about it, I don't think he would. I don't think he would fit on that team, especially when they got rid of all. You don't know what you're getting in Ayuk, and I don't know where they're going with the whole. They just signed Brock Purdy. I don't know what they're going to do over there with Brock Purdy. How they're going to.
That's why I thought that you wouldn't want a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Cards.
Cardinals is one. Steelers are another one. Steelers.
Really? Steelers?
Yes.
He's not going to go on the East Coast.
He did. Yeah. I mean, like I said, these are teams that probably could use
Chargers.
I don't see him going. Chargers, probably another one. I would say Jets, even though I think they're going to sign Amari Cooper. Jets.
I think Amari Cooper goes to the Jets, yeah.
Jets, yes.
Yeah, that fits.
And Detroit. I think Detroit.
Too cold.
They're in the dome though. So I mean, like I said,
his family doesn't want to live where it's cold.
that makes
If
sense.
it's not Chicago, then they don't want to go live.
Yeah.
It's not it's cold.
But I just think, but like I said, just from the fit.
You don't think Seattle's a place that you might go? Still on the West Coast, close to California.
Too rainy up there though.
But your friend, you can live in California.
You're also cold. It's also cold.
But you can live. Your family can live in Northern California.
And then which Sam Darnold's going to show up?
Okay, and then
I've
been there. I wouldn't want to live there. It's way too wet.
Which Sam Darnold?
Long.
I have no problem with that.
Which Sam Darnold's going to show up? That's the only thing I would think with his case. If you're looking at Sam Darnold, are we looking at Sam Darnold
playing well, and you get in there, and it's him, Cooper Kupp.
Yep.
You know, you're talking
about it's outside of Jack Smith to it'd be like the old person's home for wide.
It doesn't matter though; these are guys who can play. So
who can play, Raiders, maybe that's a hot climate. You got Geno Smith out there.
I can see that. They have nothing else out there.
Nothing else out there.
Yeah, you'll probably be the one.
Yeah, I mean, why not? You know what I mean? So I mean, like I said, I think Keenan Allen is a good fit on any team. Good locker room guy. He could fit in with the culture. You know, he comes in, he does his thing. But like I said, for the Bears aspect, I doubt it. But if Luther Burden doesn't sign by training camp, we have a holdout on our hands. That could be a phone call that may have to be made just to see what the landscape's looking like. So we'll see how that goes.
You tippy-toe around and just say, hey, where are we looking at?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right, guys. You got anything else for the night?
I do want to allude to this though. Jair Alexander signing with Baltimore. Now, I was looking at their secondary. They're going to be a scary secondary next year.
Also, they're scary but fragile secondary.
But what I'm looking at right now, you got Humphreys, you got Hamilton. Jair.
Hamilton is probably the best safety in the game right now.
Come on now. I mean, if you add that to your team, and because Lamar recruited him, they played in college together, him and Jair. I think
I think maybe Humphrey will play slot because they also have Awuzie coming over too.
Yeah, I mean, but that's still Humphreys have to stay healthy. But I still think that
all these guys gotta stay healthy because all these guys are injuries.
Yeah, but if you get those guys on one accord, that could be a scary. And you got Roquan still leading the charge.
And hope this. My main thing about the secondary is hope they survive until the playoffs.
It doesn't matter. You play football. You don't worry about. You don't worry about
injuries, man.
People out there.
You put those guys together. That could be an underrated missing piece for that team. Because they got they also signed Hopkins too, right? On the offense, DeAndre. I'm telling you, these guys may get rejuvenated. They have things that they want to prove and stuff like that. That could be. I mean, we say every year about Baltimore, but this time I think they could be a scary team coming out the AFC this year. So, like I said, that signing could really change the landscape of the AFC because of because Jared Smith, when he's healthy, is probably one of the top corners in the league. Hate it, love him or hate him, when healthy.
Hate him.
When
we choose, love him or hate him. Hate him.
I hate him. I hate him too because he was, him and DJ Moore was going at it a couple years ago. I hate him too. But like I said, I do think that could be a scary, underrated signing for Baltimore. So,
Agree.
Yeah. So, but we'll have to see how it folds. That's all I got at this point because like everything's still kind of slow right now. Still waiting on these signings. So we'll see.
Speaking of signings, I think part of it came out during like a giant report today. I heard from Pablo Torre about the whole collusion thing.
It's not just collusion, but that's kind of what we were talking about. The NFL owners are not going to allow that. They're not going to go in. It's not just collusion. They're not going to give you fully guaranteed contracts. I mean, collusion is a hot button topic, but I don't think that's what it really is. It's the fact that we're not going to guarantee you guys contracts. We're just not. So it's not about collusion. It's that all of them are saying in one accord. If I see someone doing something or defrauding me, am I not wrong to call the next guy who's running the next place? Say, hey, we're not doing this right together and have solidarity. I think that's what it is. It's not necessarily collusion. But it's just a word that people bring up. It's a hot word for people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all right, guys. I just wanted to kind of figure out where you guys were right now. It's so funny. So the NFL season starts September 4th, right? So we have a lot of time, but it's kind of going down quickly. So you gotta get ready. You gotta be ready with see what's going on. We'll be talking about camp in the next couple of weeks. We'll be talking about signings in the next couple of weeks to see if we can find a way for Aaron Rodgers to end his career at Soldier Field.
Yeah. Hope the bad grass gets him. Hope the bad grass gets him.
Hey, all I'm saying, I want him to go out just like Brett Favre.
You mean like with the giant pick?
No, I mean
with Corey Wooden hit him with concussion, frozen tundra,
injury that ends his career. Like it. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching this stuff, man. Thank Grant, thank Baron for being here. You guys have anything you want to say before we get out?
Can't wait till training camp. Can't wait.
Yeah, training camp, and there's nothing really to say.
Yeah, no, I mean the season is coming, guys. So we're gonna keep it going. I'm actually gonna do a nice fantasy draft with these guys next week to kind of get them prepared. My fantasy draft starts this weekend, so I'm gonna be doing it for my dynasty, and we'll kind of go over how do you break down what players you need. We'll talk about if it's a dynasty draft, if it's a redraft, what things you should be doing, what you think you should be looking at, and during this show, during the season, we're going to tell you who's on the trading on the waiver wire, who should be the best pickups for that week too. So that's why I'm going to get these guys' feet wet with all this stuff, and then we will talk about other things as we go along. But next week we'll definitely be we'll jump in on the Sleeper app and we'll do a little mock draft.
Let's do it. Can't wait.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, guys. So we'll see you guys next week. Thank you for watching.
Later.
Yeah.
We the Bears, monsters of the Midway, knocking teams out every Sunday. Fire in our eyes, can't stop our drive. Hit so hard, remind you of 85. We the Bears, monsters of the Midway, knocking teams out every Sunday. Fire in our eyes, can't stop our drive. Hit so hard.